What's up, everybody? And today we are reacting to Why Garfield Can't Die, SCP-3166. This is by SCP Animated Tales from the Foundation. This might be the strangest SCP thing I've seen. I don't know how I feel about it, guys. This might be like the boundary of weirdness that I might get to when it comes to reacting. I don't know if I'm going to react to anything stranger than this, if I'm honest with you. And I think I might take a break from reacting to so many SCP videos after this, because my channel has been like 99% SCP and I need to do some more stuff than just that. But the thing is, I love it so much. I love it so much. If you like it when I cover SCP content, whether that's reactions or other stuff coming in the near future, do press that like button, because I'll be able to see that and I'll be able to know whether you guys want me to carry on doing it. We have got some really cool SCP projects in the line for the channel, because I love the idea of SCP. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I feel like it's already established itself as a very important part of my channel at this point. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and if you do like me covering SCP stuff, do press that like button. I don't normally ask people to press the like button, but this time, because I'm pushing the boundary of SCP here, I'm asking you to like the video. But before we get started, as per usual, members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. I honestly couldn't make videos every single day if it wasn't for you members, so thank you for supporting the channel as much as you do. I really, really do appreciate it. Links down below to all my socials, including the 2 links to Discord. We've got the military links for all things military, that is getting fit for the military and all that good stuff. And then we've got the Geek Discord for all things geek, whether it comes to SCP or Halo or Metro or D&D or Star Wars or anything in between, guys. Okay, go and follow the Geek. The Geek Discord's been popping recently. And my second channel. Second channel has been absolutely popping recently. So definitely go and check that out. Also, link down below to my podcast and my Twitch stream, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And if you cannot catch the Twitch streams, we do upload them a few days later onto the second channel, Original Human Geek, where we also have other really cool stuff like the D&D campaign, which is so good. And we're doing some Try Not to Laughs with me and my wife, which is hilarious. So definitely go check that out. But for now, I'm going to shut up and we're going to react to this Garfield SCP. I have no idea what to expect from this.
This is Officer McGallard filing a report, case number 947261. On March 5th, 2013, I was assigned to Sector Car 293 and dispatched to the corner of 450 North and 320 East, outside Paws Inc.
I have no idea of any of that you just said.
The dispatcher stated that a witness had reported an assault at that location. I arrived there at 9:21 p.m. The victim was laying on the sidewalk with visible injuries to his head, torso, and arms.
Okay.
He was bloodied, but there was another red substance smeared on his face that did not appear to be blood. He was conscious when I arrived, but seemed to be dazed. I'm interviewing the victim now in order to aid in the search for his assailant. Sir, could you please state your name for the record?
Sure. I'm Carl Lunn.
Thank you, Carl. Now I'd like to get a full report of this incident, including a...
I feel like, after seeing the thumbnail and knowing that Garfield is involved with this SCP, I feel like it's going to go from weird, like, creepiness that this is right now to the most strangest, maybe comedic SCP yet. Let's see. Go.
As much detail as you can remember. Please begin whenever you're ready.
Well, I had just left work. It was about 8 o'clock. It was drizzling outside, so I put on my windbreaker and tried to walk home quickly. I had stayed late at the office. I work on the Garfield comic strip, and there's talk of layoffs going around.
Okay.
So I wanted to show my value. I had just started working there a few months before, so I figured I'd be one of the first to go.
So maybe this isn't what I thought. I thought it meant like an actual Garfield. Maybe it's just something to do with the comics instead. Kind of interesting.
I also hadn't had a chance to get to know the area very well yet. Between that and the dark and the rain, I got a little disoriented. I guess I walked past my turn and found myself in a park that I didn't recognize.
I'm feeling...
So I turned around to go back, but then there it was on the sidewalk behind me, about 200 feet away.
Is that a blob?
Thought I was just seeing things at first. It was so bizarre.
We'd like to have a proper description of your assailant, sir. Please
It's just like some sort of blob or something. This is creepy.
provide as much detail as possible.
Okay. Well, I couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman. It was all lumpy, and honestly, it didn't really have that much of a human form to it. It was tall, though, at least 6 feet, probably more. It was wearing a really beat-up costume. And I know this sounds crazy, but it was a Garfield costume. Big eyes, bulging rolls of flesh, lots of orange fur. The tail had clearly been dragged behind it a long way. It's one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. Sorry, I know that's not a great description.
There aren't any other details you remember?
So it's a guy in a suit? Is that what it is? Or is it actually a weird looking Garfield? Or is it an SCP pretending to be Garfield?
Did you hear the attacker's voice, for example?
No, I'm just gonna call it he, wouldn't say anything. He was just standing there under a streetlight, staring at me and not moving at all. It was kind of unsettling, so I called out to him. He didn't answer me, though. Actually, I'm pretty sure he never said a word the entire time.
This is
He
weird.
started walking toward me. And that's when I noticed he had a baseball bat. I kept trying to ask him what he wanted, but he wouldn't answer me no matter what I said to him. And he didn't stop coming towards me. So I panicked and started running away. I was scared out of my damn mind. He started to chase me and the whole suit wiggled and bounced like it had jello inside it.
What am I watching right now? This is the weirdest thing. Also, this guy's animation is fantastic. This is the guy that did, was it, I can't remember what it's called, the one in the military. He's like Young Man or something. Which, by the way, the animation in that was fantastic, and this is really good as well.
He was freakishly fast, too. I think I started
What is that? What is that?
jello inside it. He was freakishly fast, too.
Guys, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this.
I think I started screaming for help, but I didn't see anyone else around. I kept looking back and he kept coming closer and closer. And I could smell this awful stench coming from him.
Could you describe the smell, please?
Like a sweaty locker room that someone left old spaghetti in.
Old spaghetti. Oh. What is it Garfield's obsessed with? Is it lasagna or something? Can't remember.
Lots of sweat, dirt, and tomato sauce.
Maybe
Thank
it's just
you.
spaghetti.
Please go on with your account.
Well, I was running, screaming and glancing behind me. And I slipped in a puddle and fell onto the sidewalk.
Of course.
The rain made it hard to see, but I remember the sound he made when he caught up to me. It was like a low growl or a meow or something. I wish I was making this up, but he seemed freakishly committed to the character.
That is so creepy. So creepy.
Then I felt this crushing blow to my hip. I yelled and I tried to crawl away, but he just kept hitting me with his bat until I stopped moving. Then I heard this tearing sound, and the smell got even stronger. The rain was much heavier by that point, and I could barely open my eyes, but I saw him standing over me with a big red blob in his hand. There's another thing I noticed then. His suit was filthy, but something about his fur was disturbingly realistic. Like it was made from actual cat fur. Or maybe another type of fur. I don't know. But it kind of makes sense because I'm allergic to cats and I haven't been able to get my eyes to stop watering all night.
If you could get to the point, please, sir.
What is going on, guys? This is the creepiest thing. I'm never going to be able to see Garfield again in the same way. Never. Never.
Sir, these reports are supposed to be succinct. Just the facts and details of what happened.
Sorry. Point is, I'm pretty sure the suit was actually made of cat fur. This guy must be completely insane. So, there I was, lying on the ground. Then he starts shoving this disgusting gunk in my face. That's when I knew what the tomato smell was. Somehow he was carrying around lasagna.
I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this, guys. He was carrying around lasagna. I can't deal with this. I really can't.
And he started force feeding it to me. It was 100 times worse than when he was hitting me with the bat. It was just handful after handful of lasagna being shoved down my throat in big lumps. I didn't have a chance to chew. I started choking and gagging, and he was making more and more cat noises. I remember the screeching in particular. I thought, this is the worst way to die. On a Monday after an awful day of work, choking on lasagna force-fed to me by the character my job is all about.
What is going on? Guys, I think I've lost it. I think I've actually lost my mind. This is not real, is it? I've lost my mind. After a hard day's work on a Monday, getting force-fed lasagna by the character I'm drawing. What the hell?
Then it all stopped very suddenly. He went silent, still, and bolted away a second later. Like a startled cat.
I see. And did you have any further interaction with him after he fled?
No. After that, he was just gone. Not that I was aware of much at that point. I threw up a bunch of lasagna and passed out on the sidewalk. I'm not sure how long I was out, but I woke up after a while. I was trying to figure out whether or not I should
Food coma. Been there before.
go to the hospital when you pulled up and found me.
That was going to be my next question. If you require medical attention, I can call an ambulance to come assess your condition. It's entirely your choice, but if you wish to have a record of your injuries, it could be helpful in the event that we find the individual who attacked you.
Yeah. I think I hit my head too. It might be a good idea to have someone check everything out. And there's one other thing that might be helpful. I'm sure you already made this connection, but it probably has something to do with my job. Like I said, I work on the Garfield comic strip. There have been rumors, actually. I thought it was just some weird ghost story that they tell new hires to scare them off. Someone told me about a monster who protects the comic on my first day. That I made a big mistake by getting this job. You know, a bunch of conspiracy theory talk. He said it was like Bigfoot, but with the ridiculous goal of keeping Garfield alive. It was supposed to come out whenever something bad happens to the comic. Like someone quitting or the higher-ups talking about shutting it down. Apparently it's happened to Jim Davis more than once. That's what made me think he was crazy.
Is this an actual SCP? Is this actually... Did they actually put this in the wiki? I feel like it's too comedic for him to put it in the wiki. But then again, I've not read all of them, so there's probably some really bizarre ones.
He claimed Davis had been assaulted by a semi-intelligent monster. But he couldn't give me any details about what the monster looked like. He said nobody knew for sure. Just that the attacks were brutal. The way he was talking, he had so much fear in his eyes. Like he'd actually seen it before. I think I understand his terror now. Whatever that thing was, whatever I saw tonight, it was no man. Seriously, I've never seen that look in a man's eyes before. But now...
Excuse me, are you two talking about the Garfield incident that just happened here?
Excuse me, sir. We're in the middle of a report here. Could you please back up and give us some room?
Of course. But I have some information you might find useful, Officer
McGallard.
Great. And you are...
Carl Dunn.
Perfect. Targets are subdued. Proceed with Plan B. Jones, Franklin, you're with me.
Hey!
What the?
What just happened? Were they picked up by SCP?
My head. What's going on? What is this?
I think they were picked up by SCP.
Who are you? Do you have any idea what kind of day I've had?
Relax. This won't be more than a minor inconvenience. We're trying to keep this brief. Do you know of anyone planning to leave the company of their own volition?
Why? You know that guy, that thing, is still out there, right?
We have the situation under control.
It's gotta be
Your
SCP.
assailant has been contained. Please just answer the questions, sir.
Yeah, it's gotta be SCP.
Alright, let's get this beast out of here. What the?
Where's my lasagna, John?
Where's my lasagna, John? What was that? That was probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It also completely ruined Garfield for me. I'll never watch Garfield again in the same light ever. Because that is creepy AF. That's the creepiest thing. That is... I'm lost for words, guys. I'm lost for words. I did not expect that. I knew the thumbnail was kind of weird, but I thought it was maybe like a play on something that was an SCP, like a bit of like... It was like an SCP that molded into something or took form of something, I don't know. I didn't expect it to actually be like an evil Garfield that's running around feeding people lasagna. Guys, this is ridiculous. I can't react to any more of this stuff. I can't. Let me know in the comments whether you think I should react to more of it. Hit the like button. I never say hit the like button. Press the like button. Nice and gently. Don't ruin your phone screen or your mouse. Just press the like button nice and gently. And let me know whether you want me to react to more SCP stuff. Because this is the most bizarre, craziest, and fun thing to react to. Members, you're amazing. I love you. I couldn't do this without you. Links down below to my socials, including the 2 links to Discord, the military link and the geek link. Also link down below to my podcast, my Twitch stream, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and my second channel, Original Human Geek, where we have things like previous streams, D&D, and try not to laugh videos. I'll also leave a link down below to the OG video. Go and give them a like because the animation was fantastic and it really did put goosebumps on there because it was creepy AF. Until next time, guys, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.